Look at those mega churches. Look at that.
Yes, a mega church, for example, right? Joel Osteen. How is it you live in a whatever fucking amount house you're in? It's really because
He's a
I'm sure he lives.
multi-billion-dollar house. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you have a very nice house. Sure, you put in the
Got a
work too,
He's
and
got a
you can say
personal
God blessed
jet.
you. But like, you know, damn.
It's not prosperity. Gospel is so fake. It's beyond recognition. They
Like whenever
use
somebody, like whenever they say like God did this, like no, bro, no,
that's the
bro,
devil, bro. The devil is what simple makes you that rich, buddy.
no, bro. Like no, hear me. Okay, hold on. Listen. I cannot stand on God will never have somebody prosper, right? That's something I'll never believe. Other than because otherwise, what's the fucking point of belief?
Well, no, he wants you to live within your means type deal. Like if you have a set
Prospering,
skill,
you are able to prosper. Everybody is
right,
able to prosper. So
right.
I can't stand on that. But what I can say is like multi-million dollar mega home is not prospering. That is
That's
beyond. That's well
that's
beyond.
greed. That's greed, bro.
Yeah,
That's
that's
literally
greed. So it's like like
prospering is being able to say a house is your house and being able to say your car is your car and being able to
Let
say
me play with it
that's
too.
prospering. Prospering
that's what
is
he says. His house
Better
is his
than your
car.
car.
is his
yeah.
car.
I know what you're saying, but what I'm saying is it's like he's what he's saying is overabundance. Like it's like way too much. It's over the
Hey,
top. It's
it's
not.
here!
It's not real though. It's not.
Yeah.
It's, and the reason why I brought up the mega churches is because they're the biggest criminals of them all. Like they as much as I love Jesus, I love God, I love the Holy Spirit, I also know they're a bunch of big fakers, right? And they like to swindle.
Even my church, right? My pastor had a very nice house and drove very nice cars. And his kids
Wow,
drive
they're
very
really
nice
gunning
cars
it.
and have
Don't
very
put
nice
them.
things, very
Will
nice
do.
cars.
See,
Let's go make
God
a real
teaches you how to
impression
be prosperous, right?
You gotta
He
catch 'em
doesn't
first.
want you to be needy or hungry. Or
Come on,
I can
stay
literally
with
quote
them.
the Bible with telling you God does not want you to go poor stupid.
no, he doesn't. But he does want you to have faith, and he does want you to be able to say like you're
Who
not
are those guys?
trying to.
Demons! Step on it!
Because there's a lot of, especially in the Old
They
Testament,
think
there's
they
a
can
lot of
shake us?
quotes where it's like, if
Look,
you are
watch
down
out.
and out, right?
Whoa, watch it.
Especially when towards the Israelites, when the Israelites were like, yeah, man, I'm broke.
Good
man."
job.
He's like, no, you're working, dude.
Okay.
You're selling
Don't
yourself
lose 'em.
off as an indentured servant, and you're gonna be working off that debt
Yeah.
until you can start making your own money. That's literally what he says, dude. He's like, yeah, man.
Back to the verse, I can't remember what it's in. I think back to the verse of I can't remember.
The hell are they?
No, it was actually money.
Yeah,
One of them.
no, it's seeds.
It's the seeds. One of them.
Yeah,
took
it's
it
the
and,
seeds.
Thanks for the
like,
water.
like invested it, and one took it and grew something, and another one just hit it. And the guy that hit it, I don't know if he killed him or not, but like,
You stupid jerk.
that was the worst one. It's like you
Bullets
literally
don't
did
work
nothing
on this
with it. You
freak of
could have put it
nature?
in the bank and it
Ow.
could have grew investment.
My
You could have done anything with these seeds.
Oh, now you're
You
in
did
for
nothing.
it.
You just hit.
Say back then,
Damn you!
seed was just as valuable as money, and you could, because either that or it was money.
Well, I'm pretty
Because
awesome, right?
either way,
Either way, you know.
yeah, I know what you're saying. I know. I'm trying to remember what book that's from, honestly, because
I'm trying to.
no, there's also
Treating
one
us like
in the New
pushovers?
Testament where the guy was trying to hold back
Fine.
how much he was
Guess I
supposed
don't
to
need to hold
give,
back
right?
then.
Yeah, they died.
Take that.
Yeah, they died. They literally
Pretty
died. They
awesome,
died
right?
on the spot. I was like, yo, that's crazy. Imagine God's like,
pretty
hey man,
awesome,
don't
right?
hold back on me. I want you to have full faith in me, man. And he was like holding back on him. He's like, okay, time to die.
Hear me out. No, hear me out though. Is like, I don't even think that's
There
overkill
we
or
go.
dramatic.
That's
Just hear
not.
me
It's
out.
not.
Imagine
It's not.
You're sitting in church, right? Let's say you're supposed to give $10.
Okay, that should
Right.
You
do it.
go, You have the $10 and you go.
All right.
Nah, I'm gonna give 7.
Simple.
You deserve to die right there, bro.
Good.
You deserve to die right there.
Well,
Completely.
okay, I'll also
Only taking a
another
bit.
thing that I have on tithe
Pleasure
is
doing
that it's been
business.
manipulated because in the Old Testament, tithe was how much you grew, right? So you gave okay, so tithe was 10% of your farmland, right?
Don't seem
And
like
you
want
gave it
stealing
to
a
the
few
needy
of
so
water
that
at
they
a go
could
like
eat.
this.
That was the
Guys,
tithe.
it's high time
Also,
we hijacked the
tithe
king's
was
entire
how many
water
sheep
source
you had,
ourselves.
or flocks,
you could
or
control
your herd.
yourself.
So you counted one
Let the humans
one
up their dwindling numbers
out of the
first.
10, and that went to God.
We don't want to
And then it
drive them
went,
to
so
extinction
God took
after all.
that one out of the 10
Buy a world
of your
without
flock,
light for you.
and he held that, right? So if
Every
somebody
offer
else needed
burn
it,
for demon
he could have
kind.
something to eat, right? And that was like the point of the tithe, was to literally keep the needy from being hungry.
That's what the church is supposed to do.
Which they don't, and that's why I don't trust churches like that. I mean, I trust certain churches, but not.
So,
What is it,
This is a
Prince?
question I've asked my
What
dad.
are you doing?
My dad is a devout believer. And here's what he told me. Just because
you.
somebody else
Water.
is doing wrong
Take
does
it.
not mean that you
Water?
hold on your
Thank you.
belief to God. If you believe you're
Right.
supposed to give the church $10 in
Guess the
tithe,
world really
you
is
do
coming
your
to an
part.
end.
and
The fiend prince
for
giving
sure, I
water
guess
to a
you
human.
do your
I
part, but
couldn't
then,
believe
I guess,
my
with
eyes.
that money to the church that's
If we're gonna
going
start doing
where it's
good
going
deeds,
to,
we might
right?
as well turn in our
That
pitchforks.
gives, I
Shut
guess,
it.
my the way
Torment
my
the
dad
kid
is,
plenty
that
once he
puts it in
grows up.
motion for something to get done. Maybe not in the natural way, but in the supernatural way.
Yeah, God's always watching what you do, right? And what you put in, whether it's physical, material, what have you, He's gonna pay you back for it. Like
Yeah.
it's not, and I'm not saying like, oh, you can pay for God's love. No.
No. Yeah, you
what
pay.
you do,
You get paid for your faith.
right? Exactly. I was about to say that. I was.
Right.
Your faith is like if you have faith, right?
Can't remember the
Because
last
if
time I
it's-
had water.
Right.
Thanks a bunch.
Exactly. And it's whether or not
Good.
you're also walking in the step and direction and focus
By the
on
way,
Christ,
Prince,
not
it
Yeah.
sounds
I'm
like
doing it
Slime's
to
at
look
death's
good, because there are a
door.
lot of people that do it
Huh?
just to look good, and I
Honestly,
promise
man,
I
you,
think he
they'll get their
accidentally
just
fell
desserts.
asleep in the sun.
I'll be honest with you. Part of I have a very
Might not be
very
too late yet. Would you please
I
go
guess
bring him
fork in
some
the road
water,
when it comes
Prince?
to this topic,
Sure,
right? Like,
but
as you can
where
see,
is he?
I don't want to say educated, but I'm very familiar with the faith.
I heard that he and Polta were hanging out
Grew
together
this
up on
way, grew
top
up-
of that
grew up,
cliff.
with this
Nothing's
religion, this
ever
faith.
easy.
I hate the word religion.
Oh,
grew
and
up-
should
grew
you
up
come across
practicing
anyone
this
else
religion
in need
with-
of water
with
on
this
the
faith.
way,
Pretty much the moment I moved out,
Hey,
can't say I went away
aren't
from
you
it,
just
but I
pushing
can
your
definitely
chores on
tell you
me?
It's definitely, I'm not a
Well, I
prime
wouldn't
example
dream of it.
of
I am
a
tied up with other
godly
tasks,
man,
though.
you know. But I
That's
can't
who
tell
he
you
uses
the
the
time.
most, dude.
Fine. Whatever.
That's
I'll
who
go.
he uses the most.
Well, the other side of that is I'm not. I tell you I'm not a prime
Well,
example, but I'm
let's
definitely
get our whole
not a bad
divvied up
example.
then.
A lot of the
Go
things
bring
that I
Slime
do
some
when
water,
I'm-
would
when
you?
I'm terrible,
He's up on that
right?
cliff.
I try my best to use the guidance I've had all my life. You know, if I'm selling
Ah.
drugs, at least sell drugs in the best way.
That's fair.
You know,
Hey!
and the best way is not necessarily like not to kids. That's not what the fuck I mean. Not to say that I'm selling drugs to kids. You know, I don't mean like shit like that, but just don't be
Oh,
a
Prince!
snake. Just follow those.
Next time
those
you
same
go out of
principles,
town,
you know,
could he
that I guess the Bible teaches you. Follow those same
Right.
principles.
Take it.
But also those who
Hey,
live by the sword
you
die by
okay?
the sword.
Here.
I live
Have
by
some
that,
water.
which is one of the reasons I still don't own an actual gun.
Right, but living in that situation
That was
where you're
close.
doing those
I
things,
tried seeing
that's
how long I could go
still on
without
the
water.
road of destruction.
Find
I
a
mean,
new way to kill
a lot
time.
of what I do is on the road to destruction.
Oh
Which is,
yeah,
again,
I've learned my
not the
lesson.
prime example,
Here.
but I can't also call myself a bad a bad example.
I guess I could
My
say
throat is
like this: if you
Whoa,
feel convicted,
Are you alright?
you
Got
shouldn't
some water
ignore
for
it.
you.
Like
Water!
if God convicts you to not do certain things and to change your ways, you should probably listen to
I
it.
do.
I
do.
gave out so
Now,
much water
Here's
that
where
there was
I
none left
feel
for me.
weird about it, right?
Maybe
You say I should change my
should
ways, and I do.
that would
Oh, I'm
be
not saying
great
I
help.
am not saying you
Thanks.
change
I
your
know, I
ways.
know, I know.
Just
Right.
believe
Take
me.
this for your
I know.
trouble.
I hope you didn't take it that way. I know that
No.
you aren't saying that, but like I know, but like
Hey!
you
The
know,
big man upstairs is.
I changed my ways, but I still feel like that's not
You
enough.
passing out water.
I feel like I haven't done.
He'll be
enough.
And the devil's always going to tell you that. Because
So that's a
you-
thought I should ignore. Question.
I'll keep it.
not
It might turn
ignore,
out to be
but
useful later.
understand that Jesus Christ did everything for you already. Your debt's already paid. You just have to
So-
accept
Here we
the
go.
fact that He's trying to work in your life.
Here we
and
go.
You have to continue to
Rot squat.
actually genuinely try to build a connection with that and
No
not
need
ignore it. Like,
rot some
I'm
water.
not gonna thump you on the head with the Bible or anything, but you definitely should open it up more than once a year,
Think
right?
you can save him?
Because it's a
Well, probably.
love
Yeah.
and I read it every day because I know that I learn more. Like, I want to know more because I feel the same exact way that you do, where I feel like I can't,
Way
I'm
to
not
go!
doing enough.
Thought
I'm not
you were
doing
a
enough. I'm not
gunner.
doing enough, and that
Great. Why is your
voice
voice so
has gotten
dang
It's
loud?
quieter.
not even like not doing enough isn't even the right way to say it. It's just the closest way I have currently. Like
Right, but I guess
Stop
I'm
falling asleep
quoting
in the
you,
sun,
and
would ya?
I feel the same way.
No,
And-
no kidding.
And
I just wanted to
Today is
because
a real
no,
scorcher.
you're good. It's
Yeah.
a lot of people
Same
don't
as always.
understand what that means, and what that means is he's trying to tell you, bro. He's like,
Why
open
the
up that
world
instruction
have to
manual
end
that I
up
gave
like
you, man.
this?
And
so, thus far, my plan has
Things
been
have been
well,
like this for around 50
If
years now.
what I'm feeling is true, and I'm
Ever
not
since
doing
man's
enough, if that is
foolishness
true,
and a succession of natural
I
disaster
figure it's gonna thump me in the head eventually. and
caused
I'm
this
gonna
once
be
small
okay.
desert to expand farther and farther
I wouldn't
until
say
it had
that.
swallowed
I
up
would
pretty
say
much the
more or
entire
less
world.
it's gonna build up to a point where
The few humans who somehow
You're gonna
managed
When I
to
start
say I'm
survive,
gonna be okay, like I understand this could get to a point where
they
it's like I
just
actually
kept
choose
on
A.
waging their pointless wars.
right.
And-
That's I was about to say that there's gonna be a
And I'm-
complete.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I might not like the option, but I can tell if
Right.
it, like coming to that and realizing that this is it, I already know my option.
And that's called a breakthrough, by the way. That's when you are met with A or B,
It's the Royal Army!
right?
Protect the beaches!
That's where you
Can't
can
let
choose to
destroy
break
that
through,
machine. Guard it
or
at
you
all
can
costs!
choose the larger path where everybody else is going. And that's
I can't
That's-
tell you I'm going where everybody else is going, but I can't tell you I'm on the path either, man. Like, I truly believe I'm not going where everybody else is going. But I also, like, I can't tell you I believe I'm not on the path. I can't tell you I believe that. But I just feel like I'm not, if that makes sense.
okay. I know what you're saying.
Like,
So you're
You know,
kind of
I don't-
lost.
yeah, I'm
And
lost.
so,
There you go. See,
humanity's inane belligerence
That-
So again,
that
let's
resulted
probably just pick up the Bible. That's probably the answer.
in the worst
Yeah,
possible outcome
honestly, that's
for
where
the
I
entire
was
planet.
a while ago, and then I picked it up, and then I flipped to a specific, literally the craziest scripture known to man, and I was like, wow, that's profound. And
I'm like a sleeper believer, right? I've never had a situation in my life where I felt like I
Demons
needed,
belong
like, I
in gloomy
needed to speak
darkness.
up, if that makes sense, you know?
So,
well,
what are
I'm
we
gonna
doing
tell you
out
this right
here
now.
under the blazing sun?
Jesus has a specific saying for people that are lukewarm, and he says, I wish you were either hot or cold so that I could figure out what I could do with you. And he says,
They
I'll
call
cheer you
this
up and I'll vomit
scorching,
you out.
desolate desert
So if you
Sandland.
want to stay, if you want
It's not like
lukewarm,
when I say I didn't speak up, like that kind of incident. Like, hear me out. Like, I've never felt a situation that somebody said something so offensive that it warranted me, like somebody speaking up.
But a
I've definitely
chance
felt
encounter
that
is about to
maybe
change this
they shouldn't
dying
have said
wasteland
something, but I just,
forever.
let them talk. Whatever. I've never felt
Right.
a situation where something needs to be said. I've never felt that.
Well, to be fair, once you, at least for my situation, once you get into a certain position and start really like feeling your identity in Christ,
Yes.
it's more or less, you don't really get offended. You just more or less look at it like, man, you're really lost. Like you're like that person really doesn't understand what they're saying. Like they're completely ignorant of what they're saying. And that's how I've seen it. Is it's like it's not, you don't have to be offended by things that people say, right? That's not the way the world works. It's not the way God works. The way
That's
God
right,
works
I'm a
is
human.
He's got all
I
the
come from a
receipts, and
neighboring
He's
town. I'm
wondering
Sheriff
whether or not
Prowl.
you're gonna
I'm
try to
here
pay
today
that debt on your own,
because
or if you're
I
gonna
want
have
to ask for you demons'
the
help.
ultimate debt paid
Now,
for it. You
is
know
one
what
of
I'm
your
saying?
leaders willing to listen to what I have to say?
You're gonna accept that somebody else is paying it for you, and that's where a lot of people, they just outright deny it. And that's fine. That's their choice.
So my question to you is, using your
Human
words, how
sheriff,
do you pay that
you've
debt
got
when
guts
you're
showing your
paying
face around here.
You can't. It will. You can't pay your debt. You have
So,
to
are you
accept
the
that
demon's
Jesus
leader?
Christ paid the debt. You have
The
to
great
accept
King
that
Lucifer is our
He
leader,
literally
but
died on the
path-
cross
he'd
for
never
you.
meet with you
Right.
himself.
Walking the path.
I'm
is
the
this
fiend prince
acceptance.
Beelzebub.
Acceptance, complete and utter acceptance
State your
that you have
business.
little to no control in this life,
Well then,
and the
I'll
only
get straight to the point.
things that you do control
I'd like your
are
assistance
whether or
with my
not what
mission,
you eat
searching for the legendary
and
spring.
what you put in your mind,
Legendary?
what your eyeballs are literally looking
Explain.
at, what you listen
I have
to in
reason
your
to believe
ears,
that it
right? These are
exists
choices
somewhere here
that
in
you're
this
allowed
desert.
to make.
A
So,
spring? For
I
this
choose
freaking desert?
to not listen to secular
You
music.
must have
I
sunstroke
try
or something.
my hardest not to
What
watch
makes you
secular
think
media,
that?
right?
Do you know a
Because
bird
then
called
it
the water
feeds
finch?
that.
This bird
Alright,
feeds on small freshwater fish,
Exactly. Now
and
you're
during its
understanding.
mating season
You
flies
see
north
what I'm saying?
to lay eggs
So the
among the
only
rocky
real
cliffs there.
choices you really have are so small that it makes you feel super tiny. But
That's so beef.
with acceptance, is an
Sound
understanding
familiar.
is
But how exactly is this relevant?
who controls everything else, right? Who controls the earth? Who controls the
Because
sun?
I
Who
saw a
controls
water finch flying
the
north
everything
yesterday.
else? The
This
wind, the
means there
storms,
must be
the
a spring
the
with small
literally
fish
the
to
oceans,
sustain
the
these
sky,
birds.
the birds.
Somewhere
You
in
know what I'm
this
saying?
desert,
Like,
to the south
Question
of
for
our
you
current
then.
location.
okay,
Hmm.
shoot.
You try your best.
But the
Well, I guess
desert
you
to
say
the
you try your
south of
best,
here
so
is
obviously
dangerous and
there's
wild.
failure in here.
I doubt a lone human
yeah,
can make
there's-
even
there's
as far as
always-
halfway across.
Okay, but we'll keep that in mind. I just
why I'm
understand I
here.
have that in mind.
I'd like for a
My
powerful
original
demon
question
to
was,
accompany
okay,
me.
Try your best to stay away from.
Let's say we
secular
somehow managed to
media,
find
music,
this
you know,
spring.
whatever.
Media,
Do
music,
you really
movies.
think that humans and
it
demons
has
share its water
right.
between
It's
them?
you are
Of
like
course.
a
How do
plant.
you
If you like,
how do
you're
you
free to
determine
live there yourself. As
what
thanks for your help.
is and is not secular? What if something is?
Okay,
I'll say
I know that
broadcasted.
basically.
What if
It-
something is broadcasted as faith, but I guess is not?
All we ask is to be allowed to take what water we
I
need
guess the
to
real
get
thing
by.
is whether or not they keep center
tell
of
me,
Christ.
is
Like if
all
it's
this
Christ
your
centered,
idea?
like it's like
Or are you here on behalf of the
something
king?
is talking about anything but God and Jesus, and it's like hyping up like say money or like a disaster or a cause, then do you know that that's not God. That's
my plan alone.
literally somebody
As if
using
that-
faith as a prop to make things sound good and feel good, but it's not. Like that's why I was saying the prosperity gospel is just super fake because it doesn't have Jesus at its center. It has you make money.
We must find this spring
and
by ourselves
God's
for the
I.
people.
God has always been I, and He will always be I until the end of time. Right?
Doesn't sound like a bad deal.
Read the Bible,
we've been
and it
doing
literally
fine
He
stealing
says
water for
my
ourselves.
and I. He refers to himself as I and my. He does not refer to himself as you, right? He refers to himself in the
Please accept this
craziest
as a
ways
token of
possible. He
goodwill.
does not. I guess it's
One of
hard
the
to
few game
explain,
consoles to have
especially
survived
since
these chaotic times.
I'm more or less starting in the beginning and getting to the end, so that I understand the laws. I understand like why Jesus was so angry when he flipped tables in the temple, and like why. Like I wanted to understand that stuff. Like I was like, man, this is cool and I enjoy this, but I want to understand why. Like why was Jesus so upset? Like why was it his father's house was like a market basically? And then it makes sense now where like people are like selling holy anointing oils, and they're like selling like their rock CDs, and like that's not what church is about. It's not meant to, you're not meant to like prop up a table and sell stuff in there. That's not right. It's not what it's for, bro. Like it's not meant to be a marketplace. It's meant to be a place that you come. It's meant to be like a literal, like a hospital or like a doctor's area where there's just people that are down and out and they need help. And so that's what it's supposed to look like, is people that are literally coming for help.
Dad?
And
Got an unpopular hot take for you.
all right.
I really hate the fact that public churches.
Yes, I heard.
What you mean?
Aid him.
Like,
That human's plan will benefit us
I
as
don't
well.
think that
And he seems
somebody
trustworthy
needs
enough.
help. I
And
don't
it gives you a
think
chance to
physical
sharpen
help,
your skills.
spiritual help
Yes,
should be
sir.
mixed into the same.
That
route
said,
as
once you return,
physical help.
you're only allowed to use that
I
console
understand
for
what you're
1
saying.
hour a day.
Even though the message they
Be
get
sure to
is the
only
same,
play in a bright room,
which is why
and
they
don't
are
sit
mixed in.
too close to the screen.
I still don't think it should be the same.
Fair's fair.
If that
And
makes
and if I were you, I'd read about that, because it's both spiritual help and physical help. I
well,
mean,
yeah, you know, you feed the spirit, and
We're
that
going in
reflects
this.
into the physical. So it's like
How many
I get
passengers can fit?
that, right? You know, like
With luggage, looking at
well,
Well,
no,
I
I've seen
just-
a lot
it's a
of
personal
I've seen a lot of
thing.
people that are very much against, like, say, like people in wheelchairs being in
Thief, I
churches
guess.
and stuff.
what the fuck? That's not what the fuck I meant. That's
No,
not what the
no,
fuck I meant.
no. I'm
You know all
talking
kinds
like
of stuff,
literal,
and
like,
you're good at stealing.
like I've actually
Oh,
genuinely have been around that, where like people
That's
just,
fucking crazy.
and it's because they have
I
this
just thought of
idea
something.
that you're meant
Wouldn't
to
it
be
be
perfect
easier to
before
have
you
someone who
get
can
to
fly
God,
carry you
even
there?
though you
Quit complaining
He
and get
created
your butt in
everybody
here right now.
and his image, no
Hey,
matter
let's move.
how distorted you feel as if they are, type deal.
I guess the
Souvenirs for
physical.
Let's go.
I guess like
What do you mean? Explain, please.
somebody who's been falling down this path, that has fallen, is going through something way more advanced, way more challenging than let's say somebody who is very new to the faith.
Mm. So
Those
what you're
two
talking
people-
about is the worker parable. So Jesus had this parable, right, about
Okay.
these farm workers, right? And he asked the farm workers like how much they wanted to be paid, right? The farmhand, like, all right, how much do you want to get paid? He's like, one
first,
penny,
let's head south.
right?
That's
And
the
then
direction the water pits
the
came
one,
from.
the new guy that just came, right?
Hey, old man.
He comes in
How long do
and
you
he
think
gets
this is gonna
paid the
take?
same. So you're pissed
Call me Ralph.
that you've been working here for X amount of
Yeah,
time,
well,
but bro just showed
probably
up and got
quite
the same
some
exact pay as you. And then,
Okay.
Hey,
so the farm,
take
the,
the wheel
the
for a
farm
bit.
leader was like,
Leave
"Did
the
you not
human
ask
machines to
for
their
the same
makers,
pay?
please.
Sure,
And
take it
why
for
would
a
you
spin.
expect me not to
For
pay this
real?
man that's going to be doing the same job as you to pay the same thing? Like, why would you expect me to pay him less when he's in the same exact spot as you are?"
I thought that was a story based on greed or jealousy.
Nah, that's literally like,
First time
it's
driving.
about
Let's start by going
people
straight.
that have been working, that have been in the faith
That's
for
right.
X amount
Just
of time.
follow the
They've
road
been there
south.
for years. They've been doing it for years,
Not bad.
right?
You're
And
a
they're like,
natural
"Oh
kid.
yeah, I'm
can
working. I'm
boost
getting
to
good
speed up."
money." And say a new guy shows up, and you ask him, "Hey, how much are you getting here?" Like you're thinking he's getting like a half a shekel or something, but nah, he's getting paid the same amount hot as you are, and he just showed up. He's a newbie, right?
Yeah, I said, like, that's like, right, I show up for a service, right, and I'm brand new to this
Right.
okay? Not to say that the message I get should be any different. It shouldn't be, right?
Right.
Because every message is a good message, so everybody
Right.
needs it.
Right.
However, the,
You know,
the
this is
service
kinda
that a
exciting.
new person gets
Well,
is
I'm not
is the same
excited.
service that
No,
a veteran
sir.
gets.
Not
And a
even a
vet-
little.
obviously, I'll use veteran.
I
just for the-
get it
the sake-
already.
Right.
Give it a rest.
But like a veteran, right? They don't need all of the show. They just need to show up, and we can start this process.
If a
I
foe's
guess
too
is
tough,
like a really
you can always
polite
run away and
way
live to
explain
fight
it.
another day.
Like the
No
the
such
people
thing
that have
as
been
too tough
following
for
this
me.
way, you may or may
Perhaps
not become
not,
sick
but I'm
some-
telling you
some-
just
at
in
some
case
point
that
along the
turns
way.
out not to be true.
Right.
You don't want those sick
Alright,
people
alright,
to
fine.
infect your new breed. And like I said, unpopular
Here
hot
we
take
go.
here.
I get what you're saying, and
Here
I
we go.
feel like
If a
What-
church is indeed a hospital, your brand new people coming in will get sick.
yeah, for sure. And it's whether or not their focus is on not the sickness, but on
Here
the
we
one
go.
that cures the sickness and or brings the sickness. You see what I'm saying?
Gotta say,
So-
you know your way around a battle, friend.
It's
What'd
yeah,
you
dude.
expect?
Nah, dude.
Bad guys
I'm
know how
telling
to
you,
kick butt.
human
you
comprehension
wait.
is
I'm
out
gonna
the
be the
window when
biggest,
it comes
baddest
to
demon
trying to
ever.
understand, man. Like
Here
I
we go.
gave up trying to understand a long
I
time
also,
ago.
I also keep in mind this is just a thought I've had, right? This isn't based on anything I actually believe or do. This is
Okay.
I also keep in mind, but with these thoughts I
Here we
have,
go.
I guess I keep them in a corner, and this corner is labeled like unserious because it's like I know I'm looking at this from my limited perspective, right? It could be this way for a great reason.
Sandland sure
I could
has a
probably
lot of
name
different
a potential
creatures.
one, right? But I
Including
just
some
don't know.
dangerous
And
ones
it's
I'd
like-
like to avoid.
I don't know. It could
Plenty
be
are
fun to bring up
harmless,
later
though.
with somebody who
Just
knows
doing
more,
their
and
best
that's
to
why I keep
survive in
these
this
thoughts.
harsh land like us.
All right, shoot.
Humans may be weak, but they sure are persistent.
That's just one, for example. That was just one I had. Like, I don't know. I could probably think of plenty, but off the top of my head would probably be a joke. Let me smoke another blunt, and then I got you.
You good, dude.
Bro, I'm already breaking this game. I'm not even 30 minutes into it.
You send it into the gulag and then to the lobby screen.
No, I'm playing Sandland.
Oh,
It's based off
When
of
you run into enemies in the
Toriyama's-
desert,
from Toriyama's
Taking a
mangas.
head count is a good first step.
Can't we just pick them
Just
off
climb
one
to
by
the top of the
one?
map.
If there are only a few, sure. But with large
I need to
groups,
done
you risk getting
shot
surrounded.
analysis is what I need to do.
Ha. Sounds more complicated than I thought.
Nah,
That,
man.
that involves another playthrough, and I gotta take notes on how to take notes to the philosophy.
I
Here
don't
we go.
know, dude. All I know is you lean on his understanding, not your own
Here we go.
understanding.
Yeah.
One of
Like,
the
what was it? Like, when I go to church, that's
It's
not...
well
that's
known
not
you
something
demons live
Here
around
we go.
here.
It's
Get
just
many
something
human
that I thought
visitors?
I had before, and it's like,
Yeah, the Royal Army
why
carries
isn't it
water
this
through
way?
here every
Why
now
isn't
and
it
then.
the way I think it is? Or
There
the
are
way
no
I think it
villages
should be.
nearby, though, so I'm not
because
sure
our
where they're taking it.
understanding's human.
Didn't
Yeah,
matter to us, as
obviously.
long as they were bringing through
It's
water
also
for us
very
to
convenient
steal.
to have the same crowd
Maybe
of
they
people.
take it
Why
to
would you
far-off
say-
villages to sell at high prices.
I mean, you can. That's the youth do. The youth do a lot, especially in the old synagogues when it was just synagogues. They would actually have different teachers in the same area, and they'd be like, "Hey, if you want to learn like more about this, come over here," you know.
That's
And
actually
then
kinda cool.
Yeah,
Here we
no,
go.
Oh.
churches, they're thousands of years ago, actually made more sense than they do now.
Prince, would please let
I
me have the
think
next
so.
turn at the
I think
wheel?
that's a way better way to build
Rock,
your
paper,
faith,
scissors me
just
for
have
it.
It's kind of like a workshop almost, where like
Yeah.
you could literally
Rock,
figure
paper,
out
scissors.
what you personally on your
Yay!
spiritual level
I
where you
win.
needed to be.
Yeah,
And
I'll get you
Instead of
next
waking up
time.
and going to a loud room at 8 o'clock in the morning on a fucking Sunday, on 8 o'clock in the morning on a fucking Sunday, I could go into what sounds like what I imagine like a mall or a grocery store. Talk about
yeah, no, I'm gonna be real with you. I definitely feel like the imagery of
Here we
what
go.
has happened, like that's probably like I lean more towards Orthodox, just
Prince,
because
it's good to wander
that
off the
way
beaten
it's
path sometimes.
How
Detours can be the
where are
source of
you
all
at?
sorts of
Like where are
discoveries.
you at spiritually? Where are you at?
Ooh, we might come
on
across other
Topic
travelers'
of God?
abandoned
Where are you
belongings
on?
or
Like
usable
how are
equipment.
you like? Where are you at in your
Spoken
journey?
truth.
I feel.
Let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Is I live my life by I pretty much know everything. But if I ever run into something that I just can't swing, right? My fail-safe is God.
Take
Is
that.
that a bad
Yeah, that's terrible. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front. That's awful, bro. That's using God as like a candy machine.
So
That's
it's not
all.
like hear me out, right? It's not like I'm like, oh, I get arrested, and
Prince,
then I'm like,
There
oh, God, get
are
me
a
out of
lot
my
of small
No.
caves
I'm
all
talking
over
about like
Sandland.
you only use them
There
for
may
when
be
you're
items inside them
inconvenienced.
that
You're
could
not.
be of use to
you're
us.
meant
Not
to.
necessarily. It's not
Really?
necessarily like an inconvenience.
Let's explore
It's like
any that we find
but
then.
it's just like I have given this my honest try, and I need this. When
Yeah.
when I go to pray, it's like I need this, or I think I need this. I guess is a better way to phrase it. I
Nope.
think I need this. This is my.
He says to pray persistently, meaning even if you don't need anything, you're supposed to talk to him. So you gotta have open dialogue all the time. You're like, hey man,
Here we go.
like I wake up in the morning, I pray. I pray about my mom's safety when she goes to work. I pray about
It sure is
food.
hot
I
out
pray
here.
about my games.
How are you
like
holding
when I'm
up,
playing
Prince?
a game, I'm like, thank you God. I appreciate you for like letting me, like allowing me to be able to play this game. Like I thank you, man. I appreciate that. And he's like, he doesn't say
What do you
anything
mean?
back, but
This level of heat's nothing.
it's the giving the
beats the cold,
thanks,
at
giving the just dues.
I,
giving
for
him,
one,
like,
much prefer the
he
heat
wants to
the
have a
cold as
conversation
well.
with you. He wants
Is
you to
tolerating
talk
heat
to
well
him,
just
not
part
talk
of being
at
a
him.
demon?
You know what I'm saying?
Depends on the demon.
That's
Slime
you have to
shriveled
be
up
so
after all.
personal that it's like, hey man, you know, I'm thankful that I woke up this morning. I appreciate it, man. Like I thank you God. Like you gave me another chance to glorify your name, type of deal. You know, not man. You know, I really need this, and God's like, man, my
So far,
Pez
so
dispenser, bro. Like handing out candy. Like, come on, man. He blesses us, of course. He's gonna give you things, of course. He's not gonna ignore you. But he can also feel used in the relationship
turn out
just
to
as
be
much as
useful
you
later.
feel used when you're in a relationship on this earth type deal, right? And when you get up there and you're talking to him and he's like, hey man, did we have a relationship? Did we talk on a daily basis? Did you read my instruction manual as to like how to live your life and how to figure out how to deal with day-to-day situations? And he's like, yeah, do I know you? And if you don't know him, what do you think your
I've
answer is
heard
gonna
rumors
be,
of
bro?
creatures of
Like,
tremendous power in
that's
this
how I
land.
see it
You never
every
know
day.
when
It's
you
like,
might run across
if-
one of them.
like I feel awkward
yeah.
now.
I
when
think
don't-
I heard Father say that
you know,
before.
I'm at that point
Here
where
we
like
go.
if I don't
Demons,
pray
isn't
to
it?
God about it,
Well, I
I
suppose
don't
there's
like
always
it.
someone
Like
stronger.
that means I'm trying to take
Well,
it
no
out
matter
of
how tough
in
they
my
are, there's
control,
no
in my
way they can
hands.
be stronger than the
You know
king
what
of
I'm saying?
demons.
Not to compare my earthly relationships to
Whoop.
Right,
that's the
right.
only thing I have to compare. So this is where we're going. But
Okay.
I understand, right? I completely understand this is not the same. But like, even my real life relationships, bro. I
Here
probably
we go.
talk to you guys more than I talk to my own family.
Which is
Here we
fair,
go.
and we rarely get to see you in here. So I mean, that's saying something. You
I
know,
don't talk.
Well,
Let's
like,
say that I
why
don't
do we need
talk to
her to
people.
live?
I don't
like
go out of my
Because
way.
the human body is composed of roughly 60% water.
To be fair,
Dangerous.
that's probably where you gotta start,
Casey,
man.
What about
Is
demons?
if
That depends on the
Oh,
you're
species.
not talking, then
Slime's
how
body
are
is
the
nearly
people supposed to
100%
know
water, for
what's up with
instance.
you? Whether it's here or
Here we go.
up in heaven, man. Yeah, God sees everything and he hears your mind, he hears your voices, he hears everything, but it's not directed towards him, so he's not gonna go out of his way to be like, yeah, man, I'm talking back to you. He's gonna be like, I'm listening, but you're not directing it towards me. Why would I acknowledge something that's not directed towards me? Unless it's, of course, bad or good or indifferent, you know? I mean,
I still can't
an
come to terms with
omnipresent
just how vast
being
the outside world
can
is.
literally, he knows
Don't
all
wanna
the hairs
think about
on your
how
head.
hard it
He
would be
knows
to get around without
everything
vehicles.
there is to know about
But
you.
he used to be even
He
bigger,
knows your
and
flaws.
there were
you know,
no
he
vehicles.
literally crafted you. He built
Civilization
you, he
truly
made
made
you,
the world smaller.
right. He straight chiseled you out of the womb of your mother, brother. He knows everything. There's not a single thing that can surprise this guy. Not a single thing. There's not. You could say that you're gonna go do something crazy, and bro's like, I already know that. Like he's like, but I also can help you not do that. I can show you something else. And it's a matter of whether or not you want to listen, brother. Like it's the
What
being
goes through
quiet
your head
enough to
in the
hear
middle
him
of a
speak,
fight?
and also
gonna beat
having
the
an
other guy
open
to a
line of
pulp.
communication with him
That's a start.
on
But
basically
you might get better
everything.
results
Like,
by predicting what your enemy is
literally
going to
everything.
do and
You
reacting
go, like,
accordingly. You'll find it hard to lose if you're
I
always
don't even know how to
fighting on
explain it.
favorable terms.
like
Hear me out. Hear me out.
okay.
Literally in my bones, feel like I'm born to fight.
Okay.
Wait.
Wait. Oh, Israel?
Take that!
Israel is my name. The actual pronunciation in the Bible,
Israel.
spelled the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Warrior of God. Literally in my bones.
Always remain calm, no matter
I've
the
definitely
situation.
found fights for me.
Clear thinking will lead you to
however,
victory,
do
even
not
when the
know
odds are against you.
fights for God.
You're talking to the feed prince.
And
I know.
I'm like
that's
I know
the
in my
definition
something
of
you
calm.
have to figure it out.
In my bones, I know
Yeah.
there is.
I mean, think about it like this. I'm named after a Greek god of the gods, right? And
Take that!
yes. And I know, but I've heard that so much. But I actually have thought about changing it. But
See
anyways,
these tire tracks? That's a sign that someone's been here before us. Following them might lead us to a useful location like
no,
a village
man,
or town. The car should also go a bit faster than it would on unpacked ground.
I don't know.
That's wild.
Like, I don't know why, but I do understand the meaning. You understand?
That hurt,
Like,
you stupid guy! Take
the
that!
meaning behind it is
Ow, ow,
to
ow.
lead. So, that could be a part of who I am, but is that my identity, who I am? And especially, like,
I'm curious.
concept of
Who's the
Christ.
second strongest demon in your village?
Right?
Me?
The
Duh!
feeling at the end is
As
is
things
fine.
stand
I
now,
just don't know
yes,
what it
that's
is.
probably
like,
true.
Is
Here
like,
we go.
like
Somehow, I don't like the way you
I
phrase
don't know
that.
if it's a physical fight. I don't know if it's a mental fight. I don't
No,
know if
it's a
both.
spiritual one.
Like,
It's a spiritual one, and that's what you were
Oh.
designed to do. Was you were designed
Those
to fight,
holes.
not in any of the
That's
realms that
not
you are
good.
in now, but
Step
in
on
the
it.
realms in which you can. And if you don't have your armor on, and you don't have your sword,
A
and you
dainty
don't
dragon,
have anything
and it's
else,
hungry.
how you think you're gonna win that fight?
Even I can't beat something that huge!
For it. It's on our
That's what
tail.
she said. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
He said, I can't beat
That's-
something that huge.
Don't run out of boost!
Didn't know what to do with your guys' conversation, I'm sorry. That sounded amazing.
Don't spare the engine! Full speed! Put the pedal to the floor!
I'm trying to put the...
Think about it. The literally in the Bible
We
it
gotta
says
go!
that
Forward!
the word is like
Need to go
girding
faster.
yourself with
It's
armor,
catching up.
and your sword is to be able to know that it's your prayer. You're praying, and you have the word to be able to gird yourself with,
Put
and you
the
have
pedal
your
to the
helmet of
floor!
faith.
We might just make it!
At least how long?
Exactly. The armor is
Not
what you're
good.
missing.
Step
You're
on
missing
it.
your sword, you're missing your armor, you're missing your helmet, you're missing... You can't, in order to
can't
fix
take
yourself
another
every day, is you have to be
Good
able
job.
to
Don't let it gain
use
us. Put
those
the pedal
things
to the floor!
to be able to resituate them for the next situation at hand. You see what I'm saying?
Put the pedal to the floor!
Something told me I had to say that. I don't know why, but I hear it.
Damn it! Here!
Well, be realistic, man. You need to, I think where you need to start is that communication. Talk with God. Even if you, I'm not telling you, oh, go read. Talk with him. Tell him everything that he needs to know. Tell him.
It just barely escaped.
That's
You-
pretty
you-
much all that I feel like I'm missing.
You gotta
I'll be
surrender,
honest.
brother.
nothing.
You gotta,
That's
and
it.
that's what he's been waiting
We're
for
barely
you to
outside
do,
the
is surrender.
village, and we've lost
You've
all
been-
our food and water.
You are literally named the warrior of God, but you haven't surrendered to him yet. You haven't submitted all of your problems to him. You haven't given him everything that you need, that he needs to be able to go, okay, now here's your next part, right? You don't have a mission
So,
objective
what
because the
without
mission
provision,
objective has been in front of
surely
you.
our only
you've
choice
been
is to turn
ignored.
back.
You've been pushing for your
You
own
know,
mission
there
objectives.
should be a town called
when
Talbot,
the biggest
not
one
too far
is
from
sitting
here.
in your lap, literally going, "Hey man, I'm right here.
Not that I have any
me
money,
a
but
minute?"
we'll figure something
And you're like,
out.
nah, I ain't got time.
Sounds
And he's
like
like,
you don't
well,
have a
I just
choice.
need a minute, man. Like he's just been like poking at you,
All right.
poking at you,
Shall we
poking at
get
you.
back
He's
to
like,
the
"Man,
car?
I just need a second.
Leave the driving to me.
If you could just look up, just for a second." And he's been prodding at your heart. He's been prodding at your soul, and he's like, "Man, I could give you so much more, but you won't. You just won't stop for a second, just for a millisecond, and give me some time so that I can give you the exact thing that you need, because I can see." He's like, "I can see it, 3D from the sky, brother." He's like, "Just chill out for a second and let me do my work so that you can do your work," is literally what he's trying to tell you.